Hello, students. So I am feeling like 95% today. I'm almost like totally feeling normal. But I just wanted to let you know that I've got your week 2 assignment posted, and I just wanted to show you what that looks like. So when you go into your class, first of all, everybody, just a little reminder, in all of your classes, you have a grades tab. Make sure that you frequently checking your grades tab to see, of course, mine's not going to show your grades, but it'll show your grades. If you submitted something and um, you didn't get full credit, I'll leave you a note and explain why. It'll be in there. So we're going to click on the content tab right now so that we can go into the week 2 assignment. It's under the week 2 folder. So you had your lesson, which was super easy, right? You just had to watch these 2 videos, the elements of art and the principles of design. Here are, this video is called the art principles. Then you click on the week 2 assignment 2. And when you do that, it pulls up the Dropbox. So, oh, this isn't in a Dropbox yet. I'm going to put it in a Dropbox. Watch this. Ta-da! All right, now there's a Dropbox. So these are the instructions here. It says sketch. The possible points are 100. Utah Visual Art Standard 1 making. So the objective here is to explore, understand, and refine techniques and processes in a variety of media. Today this media is sketching. Objective B, create visual art using the art elements and principles. So you are going to start using some of those elements and principles today. This week, we're going to learn the basics of sketching. So this first video introduces tools you may decide to purchase if you plan to continue your sketching and drawing hobby beyond this class. These tools are not required, of course, but it is nice to know they exist and what they are used for. For sketching in this class, the basic tools required are pencil, eraser, and paper. You may use any paper that does not have lines. Printer paper works great. The first thing you want to do before you start sketching something is decide what direction the light is coming from. And you can see that here, this person's little sun. The direction of the light is coming from over here. That's why it's bright over here and dark over there, and the shadow is cast in this direction. Why is it important to establish the light source? I want you to know the answer to that. So this next video introduces you to this idea that everything you see is made up of simple shapes. Some shapes are geometric, some are organic. Don't worry about making your sketch look realistic. Just start seeing shapes. What shapes make up your hand? Cylinders, ovals. Once you have your shapes sketched, you can start adding value tones. Value is that gradient of tones from pure white through a complete rainbow of gray tones to pure black. Value is what gives shapes their three-dimensional form. You can see the shape sketched here for this dog. It's very flat and two-dimensional. But when the artist starts to add value, these pure blacks, a nice gradient of different gray tone values throughout, you can kind of see where the light source is probably coming from up high somewhere because there's highlights on the tops of the ears here. And you can see the shadow under the chin. So you know that the light is coming from up high. And with these little twinkles in the dog's eye, you get a sense that maybe the light is coming at a diagonal because these twinkles are in the top left corner of the eyes. So there's that video. And then this final video goes into more detail about shading and blending. You can use tissue, your finger, makeup, sponges, Q-tips. Not makeup, but makeup sponges, Q-tips. I've even rolled up paper and made my own blending stumps that are illustrated in this video. It also introduces cross-hatching. The direction of your sketch should follow follow the curve of the shape contour. So notice how the direction of this hatching kind of follows the curve of the contour of the shape in the hand, okay? So this is hatching when it's just straight lines, and then when you cross them, that's called cross hatching, okay? And for darker tones, you just sketch the lines close together and apply more pressure to the pencil. For lighter tones, keep lots of white space, don't sketch as many lines. You'll notice that in areas where the light is hitting, there aren't any lines. It's just pure highlight there. And also, you can soften your grip and sketch lighter when you want it to be lighter. Finally, pointillism. That's this little thing down here. Pointillism, this using these little points or dots. You can create an entire image from points, which is basically what our computer screens are doing, right? Pixels are just like points. You just get so many of them, and they're all different colors. So, and then of course blending. So this is what a drawing looks like after it probably started out as a rough sketch. And of course, this looks like it's done with ink, but if you had done it with pencil and used an eraser and a blending tool, you can do this, what's called rendering. And it's just blending, erasing, and this, look at, see how those knuckles are? That's probably just, it probably all was gray here, and the artist came in with a very fine tipped eraser and erased the knuckles in. Very cool, huh? So that's kind of what we're heading in the direction of, is getting to that realism. And that's what that video helps you with. So the assignment directions, first you're going to do a warm-up. So this artist that created these videos that you're watching is pretty much the entire time warming up. You'll notice that he's not like trying to be perfect, okay? Sketching is a very rough process. Don't feel like I'm looking for perfection. Just move, just put pencil to paper, and don't worry about, it looks horrible. Just practice, because what you're doing is you're warming up. It's like how a singer will sit before and be like, la, 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 you know, and how a musician who plays an instrument before they go out to perform will sit and warm up, and it doesn't sound good. It's like, ding, 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 ding. You know, they're just warming up. It doesn't sound like the performance warm up. So do it. Grab a piece of paper and pencil, eraser, any blending tool if you want to use. Make sure your paper does not have lines in it. If you have printer paper, that's fine, or any kind of paper. If it's colored construction paper, I prefer if you try to keep the tone of your paper white at this moment, because we want to be able to see the light source. On your paper, draw a sun at the top left corner of your paper, just to indicate that this is your light source. And then sketch your first circle. Leave room on the paper for lots of circles, because you're going to do 4 circles. So sketch your first circle, shade it, make it look three-dimensional, sketch the shadow, and then blend. And you can use your eraser to blend too. So like you'll notice sometimes when you're blending, some of the gray smudginess will blend into an area that you want it to be lighter. So just get your eraser and erase away what blended into an area that was supposed to be lighter. And then repeat that process. Go back, sketch another circle, and but this time when you do it, refine your technique a little bit more. Okay, now that you've done it one time, your hands a little bit warmed up, do it again. This time make it look a little better. And then you're going to repeat again. This time when you create your circle, go back, sketch circle. This time you're going to use cross hatching. So you saw an example of cross hatching up here. So rather than doing that blending piece, you're just going to go ahead and use just cross hatching to create your shadows and leave areas that are supposed to be light free of cross hatching, right? Then you'll repeat it one last time, and this time your circle, you're going to use pointillism to shade it. So remember that pointillism is just using little points. Okay? Just have fun with it. Make sure all of your circles have the shading and a shadow cast. Cast a shadow Otherwise, it's not going to look like it's grounded. It's going to look like it's floating in space. We want them all to be grounded. So you can see where that source of light is coming from as well. So now that you've warmed up, you're going to do your final sketch, okay? So turn your paper over or get a new piece of paper, sharpen your pencil, and find an object that you want to sketch and just set it on the table by you. Make sure that wherever you decide to see yourself at the table, your object has a good light source, okay? So if you want to get a lamp and you want to actually, set it up so that you've got a light source and it's intentionally coming from the direction that you want it to. But if you don't have any control over the light, then you move around the table and see where would be the best place for you to sit so that you're getting the best light cast on it. So it shows the object's three-dimensional, shape. So it shows where you need to do your shading. So it shows where your shadow is coming at for sure. Because when I look at this, when I'm grading it, what I'm looking for is, can I tell where the source of light is coming from? I better be able to, because if you've got a sources of light coming from all different directions, because you've got your shading on your object in one area, the light in one area, and then your shadow is cast in a totally different direction that doesn't make sense, then I know that you haven't actually used the source of light. So sketch the object's basic shape first, okay? So in that video, he's going to talk about that, I think, in that third video, sketching out just the basic shapes, seeing the shapes, learning how to see, okay? So when you're an artist, when you go to sketch something, you're actually looking at those shapes, getting them down first, then you can start the shading, the rendering process, okay? So then shade it, and then do any blending that you want to do, and make sure you sketch the shadow, and make sure things are blended, okay? So then also when you're done, sign it. May not be the greatest work of art, but it is yours. Still sign it, and then you're going to take a picture of your warm-up and your final sketch. Paste those pictures into your computer's Fine Art Week 2 folder. Right-click on the files to rename them, and submit both files to the Dropbox. And advanced students, yes, you can sketch something more complex like your dog or little sister. So I know that sometimes we have students that are a little more advanced and they want a little more challenge. And absolutely, sky's the limit. I don't want to hold you back. So if your final sketch, you want to turn up the volume a little bit, go for it. If you want to keep it simple, you've got a really crazy, hectic week this week, you're trying to get caught up, pick something simple, okay? I'm not asking you for crazy stuff. I don't want you to be a genius. I just want you to try something new. That's all. And, if you don't have a lot of time, that's fine. Pace yourself, go quickly, get it done. Just make sure you do everything on the rubric. So here's how the points are broken down, 100 points possible. The first circle is sketch shaded, has a shadow, and it's blended. The second circle is more refined than the first. Still has all those things. Third circle is crosshatched, has a shadow. Fourth circle uses pointillism, has a shadow. So that's your warm-up. And then your final sketch has evidence of shapes sketched first.
Mama.
Obvious where the source of light comes from.
Mama.
The final sketch is shaded, blended, has a shadow, and both of them have been submitted to the Dropbox and are named appropriately. Please remember, if you use your camera's digital number, it applies to it. That's not an appropriate number file. I'll ask you to go back and repeat it. Big bummer, man. My daughter just walked up and she's got this amazing strawberry jelly mustache that doesn't really show up very well on this, but I thought it was cool and wanted to share it with you. Okay, so when you are finished taking those pictures, what you're going to do, it says that you're going to paste your pictures into your computer's Fine Art Week 2. Just plug in your camera, and I don't have one plugged in right now, but what happens when you plug it in is your camera shows up on your computer. You can click on that, go to the DCIM folder, that's where pictures are at, and then you can right-click on those pictures, right-click, and you'll be able to copy them. And then if you go into your folder over here, hopefully you've created a Fine Arts folder. Let's see, 2016, and you've got a week 2 folder that you've created. You can just right click in here and paste those pictures in. Once you paste your pictures from your phone into your folder, then you can just right click on them and you'll notice that you have the option to rename them. So then you click rename and you can call it something like warm up. Wouldn't that be a great name for your warm up? Or you can call it final sketch. Wouldn't that be a great name for your final sketch? So you want to give it an appropriate name. You can call it sketch of a jar. You can call it sketch of a mug, sketch of whatever it is that you decide that you're sketching. But that's what I mean by pasting it into your folder. If you don't have, a folder in your, so let's see, if I go into pictures, I have a fine art folder. I created that myself. I clicked on new folder and I named it fine art, and then I double clicked in there and I created another folder for the 2016-17 school year. And in there, I put my week 1 and my week 2, and of course I'm going to need a week 3 here eventually, but that's how you make folders. Then you have to double click on them and make sure that they're open before you right click and paste, because you want to make sure that it goes into the folder. Otherwise, it'll end up just out here, which is fine. You can just grab it and drag it into whatever folder that you want to put it in. I do that all the time. But that is how you get your pictures off your phone. Now, some of you might have a camera phone and you can't find your cord, so just email the pictures to yourself, and then you can open up your email on your computer and you can download those pictures and save them to your folder and give them a name. So use email to get your pictures over to your computer from your phone. That works great. You can also Facebook them to yourself, though the quality won't be as good. So I recommend using email. Also, when you're taking pictures, be sure to crop them nicely. Okay, so I don't try to make it look a little professional. Um, Cut out all the extra white space around the edges that's not necessary to be there, because when I go to paste it into a slideshow for everybody to see our critique this Friday, I want to be able to, see the object because you've zoomed in on it when you took your picture. Okay, so hopefully all of that made sense, and have a great week. Bye.